Hi, everybody. You're listening to Caregiver Crossing. We are a podcast brought to you by Joyce House, and we're really happy you're here. We've got a special show for you today. But before we get started, I want to remind you that Caregiver Crossing is a podcast that's created just for you, the caregiver. I'm Tina McIntosh.
I'm Terry Stacy. We're here every single week with experts from across the country to provide some comfort and lots of resources and joy to our caregivers. And this podcast really does serve to embrace our family caregivers of today and tomorrow. So as Tina said, thank you all so much for being here. Tina?
Well, we are joined today by Angie Matthews, who is the daughter and primary caregiver for one of, I know I'm not supposed to have them, but favorite guests at Joy's house. And Angie, first of all, I want to thank you for joining us and a little prematurely here, but I know you. Thank you for being vulnerable on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
So I don't know your journey. So tell us a little bit about that journey into becoming a primary caregiver.
Okay, well, my journey began in October of 2015. My mother, who had been an independent woman living in her own home, our family home in Michigan, and coming to visit us probably monthly, providing everything from, going out to dinner to childcare. She experienced a health event, and it was a kidney infection that manifested into septic shock. And during the time she was in the hospital, she had an anoxic brain event. So she lost consciousness and had to be revived. It took them 2.5 minutes to get her back to us. And from there, she went to the ICU and had a 50-50 chance of survival. They did an abdominal surgery to determine the cause of the infection, and they did pinpoint the kidney. So she has much like stroke victim symptoms because of the anoxic brain event, even though technically she did not have a stroke. So we saw loss of short-term memory, cognition, and speech impairment with that.
Angie, I'm going to interrupt you for a second. I think it's always interesting to hear how the history of someone's health and how it got us to today. And I say that from the perspective of, I hear so many people say, Dad went to the hospital and he was never the same, or my aunt had, X happen and she's been different ever since. And I think sometimes our expectations of what's going to happen with people's health is so much higher than the common reality. And things just happen. Right. And I hate that it happened to your mom. And I don't even know that I knew all the details, but when I see her now, and tell everybody what your mom's name is, by the way.
Oh, Mary Lou.
So, and she's just, like the smile, Terry, that I can see on your face when you heard Mary Lou is exactly the smile you get when you're around her. But she does.
Well, how is she?
Is she? Go ahead.
I was just going to say. So now you see her, and so what is her condition today?
Oh, well, so she has she's much like a dementia patient now because the window of opportunity we had to heal some of the brain pathways did not work. And there's many reasons for that, but she is now seen as under the dementia umbrella, even though her health event caused the decline. And
Terry, as a reminder to you, dementia is that umbrella, right? And there are lots of different categories of dementia that fall underneath that big umbrella of dementia. And so this gives you an example of one that's a very uncommon path to get there. I can tell you from my experience with Miss Mary Lou, she's a beautiful woman and has a warm smile. And she comes in and out of this mix of disconnect and recognition. Is that fair, Angie, from your perspective?
Fair.
To say?
Yes.
I want to talk about you as a caregiver, because imagine that listeners right now are like, I get it. My insert, relation, my blank, my grandmother, my whoever it is. Gosh, I can relate to what you're saying, Angie. And then the emotions start coming. And so I think it's important for people to understand that these emotions are normal. And so I'm going to ask you a few just quick questions and want you to rattle off a yes or a no.
Okay.
Have you ever been sad as a caregiver?
Yes.
Confused?
Yes.
Felt hopeless?
Yes.
Completely pissed off?
Oh, yes.
I mean, have you ever felt happy?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
I try to find the happy, but it is difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about guilty?
I personally don't feel guilty because I am the child who stepped up to do this work. So
Yeah.
I do go to bed at night knowing I'm doing my best for her.
Well, so let's talk about your best, because that's all any of us can do is our best, right? And so do you give yourself some grace when something doesn't go as planned, or when you can't show up with what is your best? Do you give yourself some grace there?
I try to. It's hard because I just think even as a mom and a woman, we want to try to do everything, to the best of our ability all the time. And as I get older and I'm still in this role, I'm definitely finding my limitations are becoming more evident as the journey continues. I can't stay up as late as I used to get things done, and
right.
All the boxes don't get checked every day. You pick up one ball to drop another. So I've started to just accept failure and that it's okay to fail at some things every day. Because I can't. I'm one person and I can't possibly do it all.
Because you're one person and you can't possibly do it all. A truth. And so you're saying all this and I'm thinking, let's pretend that Terry is a new caregiver. I like to pick on Terry because she can take it. So let's pretend
Okay.
Terry is a new caregiver. What would you say to her? What advice would you give her?
Oh, I would say if you accept help, if it's offered, try to find some me time. One thing I've started doing lately, I came into the situation, I still have a lot of anger and resentment. And one thing I've been trying to do probably the last 6 months or so, and especially since COVID, when we're all in each other's space all the time, is to look at my mom as if she were a disabled stranger. And how would I treat her if I didn't know her?
Wow. Let me ask you, before we let you go, do you still laugh? Do you have laugh? Is there a story with your mom that that you laughed?
Yes, there is. Yes. So our family has a tradition of going to the Indiana State Fair every year. And when we go, we shut that fair down. I mean, we're there when it opens and we're there all day. And she's usually in her transport wheelchair because she can't negotiate those vast spaces walking and keep up with everyone. So we use that. And usually at the end of the night, after we've done the midway and lots of games, her wheelchair is full of all the prizes. You can hardly see her. All of the stuffed animals around her.
She's like a little ET. She's like an ET in a transport wheelchair.
Yeah. Oh, all the lemon shake-ups, all the sweet teas, and we're just using the wheelchair as a wagon at the end of the night. So
that's awesome. That's
really
awesome.
good images I've captured.
Yeah.
Of that.
Oh, you know what, Angie? I was going to say, if you can find a picture of that, we should absolutely share it because that would be fantastic. Well, I have to tell you, I know that I'm an outsider in some ways. That I'm not in your home and I'm not in your biological family, but we've been a part of the same Joyce House family for, oh my golly, how long has it been now?
Oh, we're going on 6 years.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So for a total of 6 years. And I just have to tell you, I think you're a great daughter, and I think you're a great mom, and I think you're doing some great, I hate to say work because I know this is not a job, but in some ways it is. And I just want to thank you for loving your mom the way that you do, and for letting us at Joy's House as an adult day service be able to be a part of your journey, with her. So we love her to pieces, and we love you too. And thank you for being here on Caregiver Crossing as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay.
Listeners, if you want to email, there's something you want to know, something you want to chime in, advice you have for Terry in the role of a caregiver, advice you have for other caregivers, email me at tina@joyshouse.org. And we'd love to hear from you. Other than that, Terry, you want to talk about AARP?
They're our friends, and we're appreciative. We really appreciate their sponsorship here of Caregiver Crossing. American Village is a senior living community right here in Indianapolis. American Village, also one of our good sponsors. They are a full continuum of senior housing and healthcare solutions designed to accommodate a variety of lifestyle choices and healthcare needs. They're wonderful people. And so are you all. Thank you all so much for joining us today on Caregiver Crossing. We'll look forward to talking to you next time. In the meantime, stay well.